Hello everyone and welcome back to another Women's Prize Longlist reading vlog. This is part number 3, so if you haven't seen part 1 and 2, please go and watch those. I will probably tag them somewhere. But in this third part, we are reading the next 4 books of the Women's Prize Longlist, although we are getting quite quickly up to the shortlist of when that's going to be announced. As I'm filming this, I don't have that many weeks left, so I'm kind of considering how many can I fit into this one vlog. I don't want to then go back and read the long list after everyone's like moved on to the shortlist. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to make like good prediction videos about like what do I think is going to be on the shortlist and like what do I think should be on the shortlist. Very exciting today. We're doing at least 4 books and I have 8 books left for this challenge. I've done 8, I have 8 left. We are halfway through, but I've already started the book that I'm going to be starting with for this vlog, and that is the Wren. This book, I'm actually surprised, has the highest number of ratings on Goodreads. So just based on ratings on Goodreads, I think it's the most popular, the one that most people have read, which is strange to me because I don't know anyone who's read it. I've not heard anything about it. I know it's an Irish book. I know that I think you're following a girl and maybe her relationship with her mum and like a poet in her family. I don't know much about it, to be honest. I think it's going to be poetic. I think it's probably going to be sad. Irish fiction seems always to be quite sad. So I have been fanning about and I have read the first 20% of the Wren. This is probably not the best angle. I really like how it's written so far. The very first impressions, I'm comparing it to Sally Rooney in a good way. I like Sally Rooney, and also the beginning of this book, you're following a girl called Nell, and she is in university. She's like a young woman and she's kind of like dating this guy. She's fallen in love with him. I'm gonna tell you, I don't like the sound of this guy. And then I think we're gonna shift perspectives though, just from like the blurb, and maybe get some from her mum. It's written very beautifully. It's written very poetically. I like Nell. I like her internal monologue. She loves nature. She loves birds, and she like cares a lot about lots of different things. Like, I quite like her as a character. So I'm excited to read on. Very, very good first impressions. But I also wanted to say that the other book that I'm gonna be reading just on my Kindle, I have a copy of Restless, Dolly, Maunder, which I actually started a while ago. I read like the first 5% and then put it down and picked up a different one of the Women's Prize books. Basically, the author has reimagined the life of her great-grandmother or her grandmother. And I think it's all about like how she was living in a time where, you know, women were just expected to be domestic beings and wives and mothers. And Dolly Maunder herself was like slightly like trying to live outside of that box she was being put in. It's written very like, we did this and then this happened and then this happened and then this happened and then this happened kind of thing. It's like not got too much else to it so far. It does read more like non-fiction so far because there's not anything too dramatic or stylistic or I don't know, nothing like that, so it's quite non-fiction. But I'm literally 10% in. But now it is time to go and see my lovely friend Tori, and I think she's gonna make me some brunch maybe or something, so I'm gonna go over to her house. So I'm gonna listen to more of the Wren while I walk over there. Apologies if it's loud, but I wanted to update you on my reading because I have been reading. Had so much fun last night, had so much fun yesterday with my friends. Ended up having a little boogie as well, which was very, very fun. But now I'm on my way to my brother's flat. If you saw my last vlog of the Women's Prize reading vlog, I also went and had brunch at Lawrence's. So we're doing that again. It's become a new tradition. But in terms of reading updates, I've got up to 20% of Restless, Dolly, Maunder. I still feel the same. It's kind of quite like non-fiction feeling. It's kind of just telling me about this woman's life. But I'm not that interested yet. Like, I don't know why, like, I need to know anything about her. It's well done, but I don't know what the like hook is, what the grab is yet of her life. Seems like quite a basic historical fiction. But I also, yesterday, while I was like going from place to place, I was listening to the Wren. About halfway through that one now. If you are looking for a springtime read, I would really recommend the Wren because of all the nature imagery in it, like the focus on nature and birds and everything. Like, something about it is just like making me glad to be alive. You know, it's very poetic, it's very beautiful. Two main characters, like the daughter and the mother, is the point of views that we're getting, and they have a really distinct character voice, and I love it. Like, I love when you can really get a sense of a character so quickly and so easily. That one I'm very much enjoying. Definitely the favourite out of the two by far. It's about these two characters, this mother and daughter, and also kind of the shadow or the legacy that the grandfather has kind of left on their life as this pretty famous poet who also abandoned his family. I'm here now with the beautiful Lawrence and his beautiful view. It's brunch time at the cockpit. That's what you decided on. Are there any ducks?
Yeah, look at them.
Hello duckies. You can buy duck food at the concierge, like, it's adorable. Could you throw it from here?
Maybe.
So cute.
We could get some.
That'd be such a cute activity. We have first course out, some lovely pastries. And Jojo's here! Here she is, sitting on the special chair. Oh, that lamp's flashing.
Hello, people!
Do you have anything to say to the vlog?
Yeah, we're gonna have some satsuka.
Satsuka! Have you been reading anything?
I'm reading The Maid.
Oh, I read that one.
Yeah, the one with is an actual maid in a hotel and there's a murder mystery.
No, not that one.
Yeah, so I've read 3 maid horror books.
Yeah, it's like a theme. It's like a mini genre.
Yeah, I read Housemaid.
Yeah, that's the one I read, Housemaid.
I'm reading The Maid at the moment.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. It's very blunt, very funny.
You quite like a thriller, don't you?
Oh, I love a thriller.
Smashing. Show me your food. Oh, that looks so tasty.
Yeah.
Thank you. It looks so good.
When you was on your wedding day, the next day, splash.
I'm going to continue listening to the Wren on my walk home. And I'm going to say bye to these lot. Bye bye. I'm getting ready for bed now. I did a really fun live earlier. I completely forgot to vlog where we were doing the Graceling read-along live. But in terms of the Women's Prize, I did do a bit of reading on the way home, and also I read it a bit physically today on my Kindle. And now I am up to 70% of the Wren, and no progress on Dolly Maunder. I'm still 20% on that. Hello vlog, good day. It's no longer morning, so I can't say good morning, but I'm almost finished this book now, so I need to kind of give you a quick update. It's a slow, quiet kind of story. It's not looking like it's gonna be a 5-star for me, but it's like breath of fresh air kind of story. It's like a very sweet, calming story, but like I don't think I'm gonna be super like shocked or emotionally invested by the ending, but we'll see how it kind of happens. I still really like both the characters, like the mum and the daughter character. Like, they have really good distinctive voices, and it's also like just shows how you can like view the closest people in your life, like how the mum views the daughter and how the daughter like views her mum as well. I quite like that. I think it's done really well, and because they're very different people and they live their lives in very different ways, it's really good. So that's the Wren. I read a little bit more of Dolly Maunder too. I'm like a quarter of the way through, 25% through that one. We've gotten up to the point where she is an adult and married. Basically, there's not much that goes on. I'm not loving that one, to be honest, and it's going to be a slow read. But tonight, I'm actually going axe throwing. It is Tazmyn's birthday, so we're going axe throwing for their birthday, which is going to be so much fun. I've never done it before. I think I'll be terrible at it. I'm actually not feeling 100%, but I'm rallying all my strength. I'm going to try and put it into my throwing arm. I will read the Wren on my way, and then also I think the book that I'm going to start next is going to be The Blue Beautiful World. This is the only sci-fi on the list. I'm really in the mood for sci-fi now. I feel like I've done too many like historical fictions and quiet literary ones, and I'm in the mood for a sci-fi. So this is the one we're going to start after the Wren. I'm probably going to miss the bus because I just keep stopping to take pictures of flowers. I just love spring. Come on, Rowan!
Happy birthday, Tazmyn! Axe throwing and having a whale of a time. We are indeed throwing axes. And I just got a bullseye! Bullseye time, Tazmyn! Oh! Stepped on my jeans. Not that it would have happened anyway. But it would have. Oh, I'm actually okay with that. I'm really okay with it. We got the same score. Right in the middle of the pack.
But you actually got more than me.
But it's your birthday, so
Oh
you get
yeah,
birthday
bonus
points.
points.
Good morning, everyone. Today was so much fun doing axe throwing for Tazmyn's birthday. I was terrible. Didn't basically hit the target once, except for the one time that I did, and I got a bullseye. Just on my little daily walk now, and I'm going to finish off reading The Wren. I might finish it on this walk and then start the audiobook for The Blue Beautiful World. Here are the babies today. Can you see them? A little sleepy bundle here. They're getting so big. The swans are sitting on their eggs. Might get some baby swans soon. Hi everyone! Actually, it's the next day. I forgot to vlog most of yesterday. I had such a productive day in the end. It felt really good. And I also finished The Wren, which I'll give you a reading update on in a minute. But I just got a book in the post, so let's open this together and see what it is. Although I already know what it is, or at least I'm hoping. Try and do it in one. Pretty good today. It is Stillborn by Guadalupe Nettle, which is my friend book club book of the month, and the publisher has really kindly sent me this copy. I absolutely love these. Are like the Fitzcarraldo editions, and they all have the same blue cover. All their fiction books have the same blue cover, and it's just beautiful. I really want to like build up a small collection of these because I really love how I really love how they look, especially when there's like a big group of them together. I think that this one will be quite haunting and quite sad story. It is, like, as you can kind of tell from the title, it is also about two women and kind of the decision of whether or not to have children or not. So something I'm very much interested in as a topic, and I just can't wait to read this one. So thank you so much Fitzcarraldo Editions for sending this to me. But to update you quickly on the plan for the day and also my reading update, doing lots of filming today, doing lots of other work and reading things that I cannot talk about, like for my freelance job. So I have finished The Wren, and I really liked this one. I wouldn't say it's going to be a new favourite. I don't think it's going to stay with me like for a very long time, but I really liked the themes explored. I listened to this majority of it on audiobook, and the audiobook did really well. It had three different voice actors, and I thought that they captured it really well, this like mother-daughter relationship, and also the poetry. I think is actually really nice to listen to as well, so I would actually really recommend this as an audiobook. I think I probably enjoyed it more because I listened to it as an audiobook, because it was done so beautifully and because it was about poetry. So this one I gave a solid 4 stars. This is kind of at the top of my list, you know, well, especially for this vlog, but in terms of the overall ranking, which I will do at the end of this video. Dolly Maunder, I'm now about 30% in. It's still not picking up. If anything, is getting less interesting. She is now an adult and married, and she's kind of horrible. Like, she's not a very nice person, and we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna finish it. I'm just not getting anything out of it. It feels very non-fiction-y in like a bad way. Like, it's not teaching me anything about the time or the history either. It's just kind of following this person who I don't really like. We'll see how that goes. I'm 30% through. But today, if I do have any spare time, the next book I'm starting is The Blue Beautiful World. So I'm really excited about this one. Like I said, this is the sci-fi one. I don't want to know anything about this one. Also, I've seen some people said that the blurb for this one is really spoilery, so I'm literally just not going to read the blurb for it. All I know is like first contact, alien, heavy sci-fi plot. It's actually kind of a series. This is like the 3rd one in a series, but I don't think you need to read the first 2. And I'm not going to read the first 2 just for context, which is kind of interesting that they've like nominated a 3rd in the series one. But yeah, I'm going to be reading that later today. Now I'm going to be filming some videos and getting some work done this afternoon. Good morning, everyone. I am determined to finish Restless Dolly Maunder this morning. I am not enjoying this book. I have to say it. It's going to be at the bottom of my list. Really boring. I don't like Dolly. She's so mean. Lots of her logic doesn't make sense. I don't back her as a character. I'm 72% into this book, and literally all it's been is like, we did this, we did this, we did this. But then also like Dolly as a character is like, I started arguing and then I realised I was wrong, but then I couldn't back out because I'd already argued. So then I won the argument because I'm like so vicious, and then I was unhappy with my victory. And like everyone around her is quite nice and quite pleasant, and she's just so mean and so nasty to everyone. And like whoever wrote this book, which is supposedly about their own like grandparent, they did not like her. They did not like Dolly, because the way that they are like making her internal monologue, she's just a vicious person, and it's not even like fun to read because she's just getting more and more bitter and more vicious as we go through. Also, all it is, the Restless Dolly Maunder bit, is just her dragging her husband around to buying all these different hotels. That's literally it. She just like goes somewhere and 6 months she gets bored, and then she like details like finding a new place again and like what the new place is like, and then setting it up, and then 6 months later she's bored again. So you're just literally doing that constantly, and it's just really grating on me. I need to get it over with because I really want to move on, and I've been reading this one for what feels like for too long now. So I'm just going to push through. I'm going to like literally not move until I finish this book today. 72%, allegedly not too long left in the book. It's not even that long, it feels really long. The other book that I've been reading is The Blue Beautiful World. Got into like 40% of this one, but then my audiobook listening hours, I ran out of them on Spotify, which is a bit annoying. I came downstairs because my shop arrived, so I needed to unpack that. Sorry I didn't show you. But I've just finished Restless Dolly Maunder. I didn't like it. I literally didn't like it. Even at the end, the author's note, she says like, I didn't love her. She was a mean old woman. And I'm like, yeah, you can tell. You can tell like you thought of her that way because that's how she comes across in this book. She's never once sympathetic. She's never once like even particularly complicated though, or interesting. There's not like much to her character. It's just that she's like mean and domineering. I just didn't get it. I didn't like it. It's like a 1 star for me. I think this is probably going to be the lowest on my list so far. Definitely out of this vlog. The Wren is up there, and then Restless Dolly Maunder is down here. So far from what I've read of the Blue Beautiful World, it's right in the middle of those two. I'm enjoying it, not loving it, not obsessed, but I need to like process that book for a minute, and then I'm going to come back and choose the 4th and final book that we're doing for this vlog. Just as I was about to get up and start my day properly, look what arrived. 2 books. One's definitely from Canongate. I don't know which one it is. Imagine if it's Restless Dolly Maunder though, that'd be so funny. Yes, I'm still in my robe. It's Saturday morning, all right? And I've been reading my book. Okay, let's do the Canongate one first. I can't remember what it is. Or if it even is anything to do with the Women's Prize. It might not be. It's forced me to use scissors. And the book is, it's paperback. Thank you so much, Canongate Books, for sending me this. I literally just finished it 5 minutes before this was posted through the door. Oh no, now I feel guilty. Thank you, Canongate. Please still send me other stuff. I just didn't like this one. I just really didn't like it. I do like this cover though. Thanks, Canongate. Anyway, let's move on to the second package. Oh, it's another paperback. What is it? What is it? No way! What are the chances of that? This is the other one I'm reading. And this is perfect because I'm literally like, I've run out of hours on the audiobook. That is so funny. I don't like this cover. I'll have to be really honest as well. It's like an eye, also like a universe kind of thing. The blurb that I'm not going to be reading. There's too much information. Especially for a sci-fi. So yeah, this is The Blue Beautiful World by Karen Lord. It could really surprise me in the second half and just like absolutely kind of explode and like blow my mind. Hasn't yet. It's hard to explain, but basically this book is a sci-fi. It's a far future world, but it's set on Earth. And you first start the book and you're following around this guy, Owen, who is a really big pop star. He's like so popular that like it's almost like this cult following around him, and like he's also not even that good of a singer, but like people just kind of love him, and you kind of follow him and people in his like entourage, and you know that something's going on behind the scenes. Like he's like basically trying to amass power, but like for good. He obviously has this big secret that he's hiding. And then you skip forward like I think 12 years, although it feels like longer in the book when you like skip forward. But yeah, you basically do a big time jump, and then it's like, oh, aliens are here, by the way. And it was all like an alien, like behind the scenes battle. And Owen and like his entourage all come from a different planet. And I don't think that's a spoiler to say, because that is kind of revealed quite early on. That's basically where I'm up to. We've like jumped forward in time, and we're with this student who's like learning how to be like intergalactic diplomacy, I think. It's like kind of confusing. It's written in quite a confusing way. He's now on this compound with these other students, and they're gonna like try and run through this simulation about doing first contact with another planet. Yeah, how funny is that? That these are the two things that just arrived. Wow, fun. Okay, I'm finally dressed, don't judge me. But I'm gonna have a full-on reading day today, and I've decided the fourth and final book for this vlog is going to be In Defense of the Act by Effie Black. I'm excited about this one. It's also one of the shorter ones on the list. So I think it's just going to be vastly different to Dolly Maunder, which is exactly what I need right now. I need something weird and fresh and new, and this seems like that completely. So I'm going to go downstairs. I have a few different books to read. I obviously am halfway through this one as well. I could be reading this afternoon. And I'm also currently reading Stillborn. I'm really loving this one. Like, I started this yesterday and I am pretty far through already. So I'm going to bring all three of these books downstairs with me and see how I feel. I'm also 80% through this one. This Girl Goddess Queen that I also kind of want to finish today. So I'm going to bring these three physical books downstairs and see what I end up picking up. I might start off with Stillborn just because I'm already like really into that story. Read a bit of that and then switch over. Okay, this is the setup. This is the book I'm starting with. And I'm gonna have a tea and to start reading. I'm having little egg bites as my late breakfast. I make these every week lately. First book of the day done. Or second book actually. Oh my god, it was so good. I literally started this yesterday and I've just finished it now, and I cried. I laughed, I cried, I loved. That's my review. It's an excellent book, and I'll do a proper wrap up on separate video, but just to say I finished this and it was incredible. And now I have these two options to continue on with. I either continue on with The Blue Beautiful World in a physical book, or I start the last book of this vlog. And I think I'm gonna do this. I'm kind of tempted to jump in, but I'm gonna give myself a little break because that book was so good. 5 stars. That's what I needed after that Dolly Maunder one as well. So I didn't vlog earlier. I'm now chilling here with Missy. But I did start this book. Oh, she's gone. Basically, we are following a woman called Jessica. I think she's in her 30s, and she works as a scientist, as like a biological scientist, but like kind of like biopsychology or something. It's kind of interesting. And she is really interested in the concept of suicide, and she the first few chapters of this are basically her talking about suicide as a biological phenomenon and kind of defending it as an act, because obviously there's a lot of shame and a lot of like condemnation around the people who commit suicide. Even the language around suicide is like very kind of pointed and shameful. So that's the first few chapters. I have no idea where it's going to go. It's interesting. I like how it's written. Although one thing, I really freaking hate the font. Currently on like page 25. But do you see this font? It's time for bed now, so I'm going to continue reading this for a bit. Also, I'm so close. It's so close to the shortlist being announced. The shortlist is being announced on Wednesday. It is now Saturday. And I have 4 books that I haven't started, and I'm obviously halfway through another 2. So 6 books that I can't like have a full opinion on. Which is kind of annoying. I fully finished 10 books. I really wanted to have finished the full 16, but I'm still going to do prediction videos and that kind of thing, and my own personal like shortlist and things. So this might be the final vlog because the shortlist is being announced. So I did run out of time to do the full 4 vlogs as I had planned, but it's been fun. It's been a challenge. Kind of happy for it to be over on Wednesday, even though I didn't get to all of the books. And I will read if some of the books on the shortlist are the ones that I haven't read, I will obviously read those ones, but I won't be reading the ones that don't make it through to the shortlist because I'm just sick of them. And if they aren't on the shortlist and I haven't read them up until this point, I'm not sure I'm gonna like them. I don't know, maybe that's not true. There is a couple still that I have like quite a lot of interest in. We'll see. I don't know, I haven't decided, but bedtime now. See you tomorrow. Hello. I went on a lovely walk this morning to see the ducks. I'll insert a little clip here. And now I am finishing this book. This is my only goal for the day. I have about 150 pages to go through and I'm gonna try and blast it through. To be honest, I'm not enjoying it that much, which is why I haven't been picking it up since the audiobook time ran out. It's a sci-fi, but it's written in a very confusing way. Like lots of things are really repeated over and over again, and then also other things like aren't answered ever. Like even within the same conversation, someone will ask a question and then they go, oh, okay, I'll tell you the answer. Let me tell you this long story. And you're like, okay, you didn't actually answer the question. It makes it very, very confusing to read. Also, it is actually the third book in the series. And I do think you need to read the first 2 books to get a lot of the context. So be aware of that going in. But personally, I don't think I would care enough to read 3 books in this series if it's written in a similar way, which is unfortunate. So this is like probably going to come out at a 3-star for me, but I'm going to see how it ends. We'll see. It might like really surprise me. Okay, my hair's crazy from sitting on the sofa all day. It's 5 p.m. and I've just finished this book. Fortunately, if anything, I enjoyed the beginning more than the end. I have a few issues with it, like mainly because it's very evidently the third in a series. We then don't get any context on the characters or the world, and that is like, especially for a sci-fi, like obviously it's set on Earth, but there is so much politics and just like information dumping that happens that it just means it's really difficult to follow what's going on. And then you have no tie to any of the characters and you don't really care. Because also like they're trying to like make this diplomatic council, I guess. That's like the main thrust of the plot. That's the main issue. But like you don't have any human connection to any of the people. I just really didn't enjoy it in the end, unfortunately. I'm giving it 2 stars. Some of it, like the concepts are cool, I think, but this should be so much more clearly advertised as a third book in a series, because it's not one of those ones you can just randomly pick up and enjoy. A lot of like the reveals, I was like, oh, I imagine that you telling me your real name is going to be a good plot twist for someone who has read 2 books previous to this, but to me it doesn't mean anything, you know? Stuff like that. Like I gave it 2 stars in the end, and it's quite disappointing. Also, I do think a lot of people agree with me on this one. This is the lowest rated out of all of the 16 on Goodreads currently. I might carry on reading some of this, although I've been reading a lot this weekend. I've actually finished 4 books this weekend, which I'm pretty pleased with. I specifically did want this weekend. I just didn't do anything, didn't make any plans for any like on purpose, because I really wanted to read and try and catch up as quickly as I could. I would be pretty happy if I managed to kind of finish off this would be the 12th, meaning I'd only have 4 other books for the long list that I wouldn't have read. I also own this one. It's the only other one I physically own, 8 Lives of a Century-Old Trickster, which I really love this cover actually. It's got kind of gold foiling. It looks very, very cool. So should I push myself and try and finish this one? It would feel good, but like it took me a while to push my way through that book, The Blue Beautiful World. Like it took me hours longer than it should have for how many pages it was, because I kept stopping for breaks and stuff. Also, I'm trying to teach myself how to play chess, which is very fun, and also really frustrating. So I keep like having little chess breaks. I'm gonna give it a go. I'll read some more of it. We'll see how far I get. Like I said, I'm like 25 pages into this one, I think. I'm in the process of cooking dinner. I have 10 minutes while things are in the oven, so I'm just gonna keep reading. I have just made it to page 82. I'm really enjoying it so far. I think it's really inventive the way it's written. It's really feels fast-paced, even though it's very literary, and it is really exploring this idea of kind of altruistic suicide, which is really, really interesting. And I like the author and I like the main character through Jessica. She's really interesting. She's talking a lot more about her relationships and her family, and I'm enjoying this one. So this is good. I'm really happy. I've just finished this book. I cried. Oh my god, it was really good. I read this in a day. I think I started this yesterday morning. Oh my god. It's really good. It's really well written. It's interesting. I love the themes in it. I'm crying, so I feel like I need to give it like a 5 stars, but like there was some aspects that slightly like they weren't perfect for me. I feel anything that makes me cry, I do have to kind of give a 5 stars. It's like this is like nothing else on the women's prize list as well. Really, really unique. It's a debut book. I'll probably be more coherent tomorrow. I'm gonna go to sleep and I can't believe that I finished all 4 books in this vlog. I'm very proud of myself, so I'm gonna do a little wrap up tomorrow. I'll do a ranking of all the books I've read so far, all 12 as well. But right now I have no idea how I'm gonna rank them. Even though it's like 11 o'clock at night and I'm gonna go to bed imminently, I am gonna start this book tonight, even though I won't finish it before the shortlist is announced, which is on Wednesday, and I won't finish it in this vlog. But I do just want to start it at least, so I thought I would tell you. But before that, I just want to say, this is the first time in ever, maybe ever, that I am not currently in the middle of a book. I'm always in the middle of at least one book. Right now I'm not in, I have 0 books on my currently reading. That feels crazy. I mean, I'm literally about to start this book, but normally I have 3 at least, an audio, a Kindle book, a physical book, and I have nothing. That's the minimum. I have 3, usually I have about 6. Hello everyone and welcome to the end of this vlog. I was fully gonna like get ready and like wash my hair and be presentable for this last portion, but you've just seen clips of me fully crying. 2 books made me cry in this vlog, which is kind of crazy. Only one of them for the women's prize, but I thought I could do our wrap up and ranking portion of this video. So I'll just jump in and do the current ranking of the books in this vlog. Right up at the top, we have In Defense of the Act. This one made me cry. It's a 5-star read. There's things about it that aren't perfect, but it hit me emotionally. It's exactly what I needed. These are the type of books that I expected to be on the women's prize, and I'm just so glad that I did end up reading it, and they ended up being probably the last full book that I'll manage to read for this challenge. But I'm so glad I got to it. Number 2 for this vlog then has to be The Wren. Like I said, this was a very sweet and touching story. It's a good 4 stars, a solid read for me. Then we have, I think, The Blue Beautiful World. I ended up giving this, I think, 1.5 or 2 stars. I'm a bit confused about why this was on the long list in the first place, because it is the 3rd book in the series, and also if we were having a sci-fi book on there, or if we were having something more speculative, I have so many other books that I'd put above this one. And then that leaves Dolly Maunder right down at the bottom. I just don't like her. I don't like Dolly. I like the idea behind it, like reimagining like someone's grandmother's life. And I learned a little bit about kind of Australia because it's set in Australia. I think I even forgot to mention that. But overall, just wasn't for me. I didn't really enjoy it at all. Side note, but I just know that when I'm gonna watch this vlog back, I'm gonna absolutely hate me wearing this headband. So that is the end of these women's prize reading vlogs. Thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me. It has been a slog. It has been a challenge, but there has been also moments of great joy and great fun on this challenge. So I just want to say thank you so much. If you've been watching and if you've been joining me for this challenge, then please let me know your favorites. Do your own ranking in the comments. I would love to know, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye.